Yo, Rich, how goes it? Y'all, Instagrammers miss all my clickbaity titles over on YouTube. The title of this live session is Drilling Holes in $2,000 Swim Baits. Where is my light? I gotta fill up some of these holes in the bottom. Hella, I'm going absurd clickbait. As absurd as I can. They're gonna get worse. Don't worry. They're gonna get worse. I did actually have to drill some holes. I had a couple sinkers. I want to take Milliken's titles and then raise them tenfold. Fishing the Southeast, it's kind of not clickbait because I do have a large sum of money worth of swim baits here, and I did drill holes in them because I had. I guess I underestimated the weight of pearl because the ones that had like the heavy coat of pearls on them, they sunk, and they didn't sink earlier. Yeah, they were. I had some sinkers, Marty, but pretty easy remedy. Hopefully, they're floating now. So I will go and re-swim them and make sure everything is as it should be. And if that's the case, it will go in the mail. I'm plugging up these buttholes. Plugging the buttholes. Oh, that should have been my title. Maybe that's for the next one. Plug-in swim bait buttholes. Which is not clickbait. It is actually what I'm doing. It is what I am doing. I don't know if that would get clicks or less. Probably less. Clear coating a glide and a crank down right now. That sounds fun. That's the fun part. That means you're about to be able to use it. Marty, to tell you how close it is, I was able to make some of these not sink by taking and trimming the pin just like a smidgen shorter. A split ring will do it. Like if I would have taken one split ring off, that would have floated. They're really, really finicky, which is why it takes so long to build them. And now, and they're small. So if it was like a big, like 6-7 inch bait, the variances wouldn't be as bad. but it was it's not a lot. Um, it's very minuscule. Um, Annoyingly minuscule. Jeremy, I don't have a particular brand. I bought these in bulk. Uh, I got them from overseas, and it's a flat ring. Let's see. I think it's a 6 millimeter ring. Yeah, it's a 6.2 millimeter ring. Um, like I said, they're strong. Um, you could probably change them if you wanted to. 4 millimeter, 4 millimeter inside diameter. Um, you could change them, but you would be sinking the bait probably. So you need to stay uh, within the variances of what uh, the hardware that's on them. So if you replace the hooks, just try and put a same size hook on it to where it's close. I mean, but that's I've talked to a lot of guys, and that's what they seem to like about it is that they can just take quads will sink it like a damn rock for sure. Um, but I mean, you could drill it out if you wanted to. I can't make any guarantees. I've never used quads on it. But I know a couple guys that just wanted to make a slow sink and they just changed the hooks out and made a slow sink. Um, but quads would be pretty gnarly. I don't have any quads on deck, but if you wanted it to stay a floater, you get your drill out. Um, Number two, short shank VMC. It worked fine for me, but everybody's got their preference for hooks. So, um, like I said, if you want to change the hooks out, don't put a damn number one on there, thinking it's going to do the same. It won't. It won't. Where's this one at? Yeah, I think I've used every hook imaginable, and the thing about it is like you're never going to make everybody happy, and I think a VMC is a good middle ground for like to me mustads are shit. When I was buying them in bulk, like you get way more like dicked up ones than you'd get good ones compared to like a VMC or something. And a lot of people say VMCs suck, but I like VMC. Um, but I noticed whenever I used like really high end, like if I put like a Gamakatsu or an owner, people were taking those off and like throwing them away. It's like, dude, I'm not like that's not worth my time. If if everybody has their own hook preference and they're going to take it off anyway, because they don't swim right if they're a little floaty, Marty. There's a method to the madness. They swim fine if they sink, but they don't swim fine if they're too floaty. The way I want them to swim. Too floaty does not work. Because the way they swim now, um, they'll dive. Um, so that's the whole. This bait really acts like a crankbait. because you can reel it down and it'll dive. And if I make it too floaty, it just flops around on top, which I didn't want. So by getting it to float where it does and how it does, it allows it to want to dive. Like you can keep it on top and you can make it like a top water wake and just change your uh, just hold your rod tip up. But if you reel it down with your rod tip down, it'll dive down and get to like a foot or so down, and you can, if you wanted to. It doesn't do real good with like a hard twitch, but you could twitch it and get it to like keep diving. And so that's really what I didn't want it to live on top. Um, I wanted it to get down, and you know it's a low float, very low float, so it still hangs down. Like it's not going to go bloop and pop to the surface. Like it gradually gets there. So to me, that's long enough to stay in that range. Uh, but it's a very finicky animal. Kyle, I've just got some damn. I think it's a 764 Powell, 20-pound big game. Nothing special. It throws pretty light. Like if you don't have like a special rod or anything, you can throw it on a damn. I feel like throwing it on like an 8 foot, like, or like a big rod, like would be overkill. You might need a little more, a little bit of tip, but you don't need anything special because it's not huge. It's not huge. And uh, yeah, it'll do. I mean, it does what it's supposed to with real twitches. It's it's not. It's probably better for a burn in twitch than like sitting there doing like standard glide bait real twitches where you're getting it like shooting off. Like it's not really built for that. But I mean, it will. It's just they're just gonna be short. Um, like I said, it's more like a. It honestly fishes more like a crankbait, which I love. I got weeds on these things. That's why I gotta go back and clean. AJ, what's up, dude? Like uh, dude sent me a picture. There's Nate. Nate, I'm gonna show you a picture. I was noticing Nate's bait. He sent me this picture, and I zoomed in on the hooks. Oh, I'm zooming in on myself. Whoops. I was trying to zoom in on the picture. I was uh, I was noticing his hooks. I was like, you have weighted hooks on there? He was like, yeah. And he was slow sinking it. Worked for him. So Nate, you doing any more fishing in the little creek, or is that over for the? Is that only for weekends? AJ, how are you on cheap bass and horseshoe? Did I say cheap bass or cheap bass? Dickie D, how goes it? I'm really sick of rubbing on these things. I gotta get them gone. Cheap ass. Would you say it real quick? It sounds like cheap ass. Cheap ass. Dickie D, was it because of what's his name? That Facebook account? I'm good. What's that troll account on Facebook? Was it an info violation? This shit spreads like wildfire. He got info at the first event this year. I guess that was what what's his dick was talking about. What's that guy's name? No, I wasn't one of who's it's the OG. Uh, if I could get on my phone and show you. Randy Flowers. Yeah, it was Flowers. Uh, Ripping Lips. I do. I've got. I mean, I've got a shad master I haven't done anything with, um, besides make a few topwaters. Um, I'll show you the master. The master's prettier. I haven't figured out what I'm going to use it for. I've had this probably 7 years. This was how long I've had it. This is how far 3D printing has come. So I sent drawings off, had them designed in CAD, and then 3D printed for my masters. And this was the first one. Um, and then, as years later, as printers got better, I had a cleaner one made. So this one, this one is still waiting. But before I did that one, um, I had that one sitting there, and I just wasn't like in love with wanting to do a shad at that point in my life. I think I just started doing. I think I just started doing like this style kind of paint jobs on the gills and stuff, and I was just really in a gill mood. And I was like, rather than force this shad that I don't really feel like doing, I rather have a gill done. So got there's my gill master. I thought I wanted fins, but that was stupid. So filled in the fins. But like I said, I still got the shad for and I've got three sizes of this. Um, like I said, I don't really know what. I've had a lot of people ask for a crank down, so maybe that's what it's going to have to be. Um, I don't mind. It might be, you know, I like cranking stuff. Uh, yeah, you know, doing what I do, I've seen every bait known to man. Um, and every time I'd get a gill, it was so dumb to me because they were either really tall or they were just absurdly shaped to where a fish would have to be, I don't even know, like, that a 10 pounder could get some of this shit like in its mouth if you wanted it to bite. Like if you just wanted it to blast it and maybe hook it under the chin or in the side of the head or something, you could probably hook fish. But I was like, these baits are so tall, they make 0 sense from like a bite perspective. Like I want something that a fish could at least get, like at least a shad profile. A fish can kind of like get that in its mouth. You know what I mean? Like a fish can get this in its mouth. But like when you have like a 8 inch or 7 inch gill and they're like this tall, like that, like you might could probably I don't even know what you do with that. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't, and I was always like big into tournament fishing, and I wanted something that I could fish fast that would catch a 5 pounder. You know what I mean? That would appeal more to a five than it would um, a two. Like I'm not trying to go out there and catch a 10 pounder. Like they don't live here. Um, you know, I'm more of the like regular dude that just wants to go out there and like throw a bait around and catch like more 4 pounders than 1 pounders. So, um, but like if you're like those like Texas dudes, they turn their nose up at like a 4 or 5 pounder. Um, and that's also something I wanted, is something that a dude that fishes conventionally can get a bait and throw it on his stuff. He doesn't have to have any special gear, and it's fun to fish. You know what I mean? You can still get bites on it. Um, Looks badass. Swims like the the it's a it's a burning twitch bait. Like it's a fun bait to fish. Um, so there was a lot of that kind of stuff that went into it. It wasn't. And that's the other thing, Jeremy. I've had a lot of bluegill spit up in my live well, and I've never seen those like big humpback like titty brim in my live well ever. Um, and I was thinking about it yesterday. Um, One of the main things that I wanted this bait to kind of resemble is when you're when you're fishing around like docks or like a tree, or you're just cruising down my you're just cruising down the bank and you see a bluegill, like they don't do much. You know what I mean? Like they kind of, they don't have a lot of action. They just kind of, you know, move like that, and then they'll like kind of shoot off a little bit. But it's not, they don't shoot off like 5 feet to the side. They just shoot off like, you know, a little bit, and they just like, that's their range, is a little short jolts. Um, but and that's to me what this kind of bait mimics the best. It's just those weird little bluegill that hang around stuff, and they just kind of cruise, and then they just kind of shoot off. But they don't have a real like abrasive action, and that's not. I didn't want anything that was like real mechanical. I just wanted something that was kind of fluid and not real, you know, bam, bam, bam. Like, you know what I mean? I just wanted it to be kind of short and a range and like act like a fish. And I think that's no, Jeremy. a bluegill is not an easy meal when they're very large, because they have that dorsal fin that has a damn uh, pitchfork sticking off of it. And I don't know about you, but I don't like eating nails and shit like that that get stuck in the roof of my mouth. So if I'm a fish, I'm probably going to stay away from that. But I think this bait to me is on the cusp of eating size for a fish. Like, it's not too small that it won't get a big one interested, but it's not so big that they're like, you know what, that thing might kill me. So um, that's where we're at on that. That's where we're at. What is this? 1200. 15. 15. But you see a lot of guys build shit just for like the sake of making something big, and I didn't really care about that. I wanted something I could fish. I think that's the whole thing, is that like this bait fit into how I like to fish and what I want to fish. So um, selfish, but oh well. And that's how I've tend to that's how I've tended to paint my whole life. I've always thought crank down, got it. Um, I've always painted as if I painted everything I painted, if I lost every customer I had overnight, like if like my social media disappeared and nobody knew I existed, and I had no way of like people seeing me or what I did, I would be happy with what I had. Um, so if I painted all these and there was some shitty color that I didn't like, that I just painted because I thought it was like somebody else. You see that like somebody else did a paint job, and you're like, ooh, let me do that. That really like wasn't yours. Like I don't want a bunch of like other bullshit around. Like I just wanted stuff that if I got stuck with it, I'd be happy. Uh, South Jersey tuning. How did the tuning go? Um, the first time I had to come back and make some adjustments, but yesterday was pretty good. Um, Not great. Took me forever, but because I think I had my dad set my screws for the for this section here. He set the screw length, and I think he got his measurements backwards, because the bottom one is supposed to be thrown a little farther back and the top one's supposed to be a little down. So you get that, this one being farther out makes this joint tighter here, and they were the opposite, so they didn't swim right. So I had to go through all of them and readjust it and make this one out and that one in. So that took a little bit of time, but I got it knocked out. Didn't get rained on or struck by lightning, but besides that, once you get that kind of, once your pins are right, um, it's mainly setting uh, this joint where it falls. Uh, you know, if you got your bait swimming to one side, you can push the push the bait to the other side and kind of bend those uh, screw eyes over a little bit. But yeah, after I got them reasonably set, yeah, it rained on me a little bit, but not terrible. Um, yeah, every little thing makes a difference on these. The amazing part, and probably um, probably the I don't know how it happened. Honestly, don't know. This is probably the luckiest I've ever been. But my my original bait that I designed for this, like this body making this swimmer. The original one, I drilled the holes by hand, and I made the pins. I didn't use screw eyes because I didn't have any at the time. I took twisted wire and put it in, drilled 2 holes, and stuck the twisted wire in the hole. Um, if you've ever dicked around with swim baits, that is probably the most critical part of the swim is the distance that the body gap is. Like if the flotation's right. Dude, I took 2 not and I super glued them in, like non-tunable screw eyes with wire, and just stuck them in the hole. And I took another one, drilled a hole, super glue, stuck it in the hole. Dude, it was perfect. I could never do that again in a million years. I didn't have to change a thing. And it was, I mean, I couldn't change a thing. They were fixed in place. But it was it was 100% like, I think God laid his hand on that bait and said, "Here's you a freebie," because that was 100% pot luck. Because I wasn't like serious about it, you know what I mean? Like I was just trying to like, I was just dicking around one day and I saw like a body sitting there and I was like, you know what? I'll go try and make this thing swim, and and I did, and somehow it hit first one. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Sweet Dustin, sorry about the hold up on your shirt. I don't know how that happened, honestly. I'm usually like a Nazi about that. It was meant to be. That was 100% meant to be. Um, so I'll Casey, what's up, dude? Marty, I did. They're somewhere around here. I got a big mess. I got to clean up. I got shit everywhere. Um, Kyle, yeah, I've still got it. I don't want to show it. It's sitting right there. I'm looking at it. I don't want to show it because I don't want to show my archaic way of test weighting a bait. It's either brilliant or I'll get laughed at. But it was the easiest way for me to see what weight did where. If anybody's new, wondering what I'm doing, I am filling up buttholes of baits with UV resin to stop the pin from going out the bottom. South Jersey, way worse. Yeah, this is not a tanning bed. I'm not tanning myself. Casey, you didn't get my special road yet? Oh, I did. YouTubers won't be able to see it, but Instagrammers will. Um, so that bait was in the box. Custom paint. And I said, I wonder what's under this. So got me a little lacquer thinner out, see what kind of paint it was. Some sort of, uh, I don't know if it was like enamel or, yeah, I just put it on the bottom, Nate, around that hole so the pin didn't go at the bottom. Just as a little added precaution. I could probably do this beforehand, but I don't. Probably should. Probably should. Yeah, it might be nail polish. It looked better. That was I had already rubbed on it a little bit, but it's like the Ronald McDonald bait. Sorry, Hella. Uh, but it's a Bagley, and here's what she was: natural crawl. I'm guessing this is a honeybee. Nice looking bait. The only problem was I think they painted it because the paint came off the bottom. It had an orange belly. Oh, that's blinding me. Can y'all see the aura of the bait? Jeremy, good question. Oh, so everybody knows what an aura is, right? It's like the energy that surrounds your body, supposedly, or whatever, like a thing or whatever. Um, these have that in the water. It's really weird because when I was tuning them yesterday, they have like this they have like this orb around them that is like orange, and it surrounds the bait probably like 2 inches, but like off of this bait when you'd stop it, it would have this like orange glow in like a little radius around the bait. Really weird. It is kind of like a glow stick in the water, but it looks like a little aura. Um, but the water was like pretty dark. It was like kind of black water, tannicky looking water. Um, I will say, I will say, tuning baits that aren't bright is a royal pain in the ass. Like trying to tune these in the water that I was tuning them in, because this is pretty much the same color as the water and you can't see it. And I was like trying to look at the bait, like figuring out what it was doing. I'm like, is that doing what it's supposed to do? Like I literally couldn't hardly see him. So I'm gonna have to either get me a new tuning pond or something. Kyle, I do need a friend with a pool. I need a pool here. For Christmas, I was supposed to get a. My father was supposed to construct a test tank. He was like, "Oh, I'll just build you one." That was Christmas. Maybe he meant Christmas 2022. Jeremy probably would. So I did some research on how to build like a test pond kind of, you know, tank thing, and I think I can do it. That was smart, Nate. That thing's disappeared, dude. They disappear. Oh, Kyle, I just took the. Let me get this last bait glued up, and I'll measure what I was going to measure. I pulled the calipers out. Nate, I think Mike's is like 16, 20 feet long. Um, but I think he's got a black liner. And I don't know if black would be the best liner color for me. I would have to see if I could find a. I haven't looked too hard for like whatever kind of liners I could use, but I would think a white liner would work better for what I'm doing. Glowing resin? We put like just like glow pigment in the resin. Gray would actually probably be the best because then you could see white baits over it and you could see dark baits over it. So I would probably need to source like a gray pool liner if that's possible. The stuff that I found that was actually affordable was it was made for like agriculture. All right, let me go get my little pliers. I gotta cut some stuff. All right, I'm back. Last two. Last two. Duralast white roof material. Maybe that's where I need to be looking in the roofing department. Think that would make a good liner? Casey? They could hold water indefinitely? South Jersey, did they have no paint on them? You just mix it in with the resin? I've colored resin before and I didn't like it because I guess you have to clear coat it, but I don't know if all the sand marks would clear up. It's the resin. Did y'all buy one? He had to put them in a UV box and stuff like that. It was time consuming process. Interesting. I thought he was doing everything in a UV box, is he not? Rich, I think it's going to be outside. It's going to be at the outside. We don't have. I don't think we have enough room here to make it inside. So I guess I'd have to treat it with something. I guess you just pour chlorine in it. Tarp cover for a dump truck. That's a good idea. So I am leaving these pins slightly out. So if you want to do anything to them, or if by some reason I missed a tune, I'll be able to go back and tune them if you got to send them back to me. So they should be right, but for whatever reason, if they're not, they can be worked on. Most everything can be fixed. Luckily, hopefully, you shouldn't have to. But I learned that in the construction business. CYA, cover your ass. So this was anything I can do to make my life easier down the road. Say should come back. I don't have to like drill or do anything too crazy. Piece of sandpaper, buddy. What is it? Fixed or rigged on a ranch spray foam in a can fixes all holes. Is that similar to great stuff? Yeah, I didn't purchase one neither. Looks like a good bait. These lotus gills are sweet and heard they can compete with the UFO. Yeah, that was one thing I didn't like. The UFO is one of those baits that was really tall. That I like. Obviously it'll catch them, but it didn't. It didn't appeal to me in the build. It didn't make sense to me in that world. Mm. Crank down, you guys want. All right. I'll get to work on that. That's one thing I actually know about is crankbaits. Did I just blast this out? Yeah. Does it every time. Jeremy, I really liked it. Had a question YouTube's that Kyle, I don't think the chlorine would make a difference because there's been so many baits tested in chlorine pools. Um, uh, Darius, that was a spit and image thing that Marty built. I think it was a spit and image. I don't know if I have any of those left. Yeah, I heard the dude at KGB talking about tuning his baits in a chlorine pool, and it made his hardware like corrode or something, and it made it squeak more. Marty, yeah, the little flat-sided walker, the little mini one that walks so good. That's probably my favorite bait you make, Marty, topwater wise. Like the walker you just sent me is awesome, but that little one is like it defies everything to me because it walks so fast. Like you barely have to twitch it. Like as soon as it hits the water, you can twitch it and it shoots straight to the side. Like it's really, really good. The nutsack rat. I have not seen the nutsack rat. Um, Smallmouth are crushing it, Marty. I sent one to Darius. Darius said he wants a batch. Darius, was yours foiled or is it straight paint? I think you might have got a foiled one. I can't recall. Darius sent me a nice little gift. So I sent him in return some never before seen Marty baits. I don't guess they've been seen. They haven't been seen much. Yeah, Marty's 1- is eerily identical to the straight paint. Oh, that makes it easier to reproduce then. Marty's 1- is eerily accurate to 1- action. I was thinking if I had one here. I think I've got one. Hold on, I'll dig through my baits. I think I've gotten rid of all the ones I painted. I didn't paint like a run of them. I just painted a few of them. That one's short. This one I can probably shorten up. Hold on a second. Alrighty, let's see if any of these need. Yeah, that was a little long. Okay, those are all good. A smidge short. Alright. Probably should be doable. Let's see. Marty stuff. I could have sworn I kept one that was over here. There's the one mine. Darius, that's actually harder to do than you would think. On a wood bait, because wood baits typically don't last forever. Darius on YouTube said, "You know, it's a good paint job. I've got a lot of fish on it, and it looks good as the day you sent it to me. Not one scratch on it. That's good." Oh, sorry. I'll have to go back and edit this part of the video out. Where is the top water? Not in there. The skimmers were cool. Not in there. Not in there. Here it is. That one, Darius? Now, upon first sight, I mean, this thing is not oozing with sex appeal. It looks like one of those wafers, like those wafers, those wood wafers they sell at like Harbor Freight. But this son of a bitch walks. Casts good. Catches them. Yeah, it's a good bait. It is a good bait for sure. Darius, does yours have a rattle or silent? Oh, Kyle, I was going to measure this grub and see how big the arms are. So where they come off the body, it's hard to tell. The widest part of the body is about 14.5 millimeters. And then the body itself is 12.8 millimeters, so call it 13 by 10, almost 11. Marty, you need spit and image? I'll send you one. I got a million. Let me pick out a shitty heading one to send you. Excalibur. There's that one. Heading. There's a hidden, but it's got the counter rotating trebles. I think I may have a newer one. Excalibur. Excalibur. Oh, you got to break it open? Which one would I want to sacrifice? Not that one. Man, I feel like I need to just order you one and send it to you. Or I'll just go by the store and buy you one. Because the shape is the same. I'll run by Academy and grab you one, Marty. The shape hasn't changed. What has changed, I believe, is the plastic. The older ones just feel more robust, and they like feel heavier, but they don't actually weigh more, which really surprised me, because to me the older ones, the Excaliburs, casted better, and they just felt like not bigger. They just felt heavier. But if you put them on a gram scale, they weigh the same. They have a little different thud. The newer ones sound a little more fragile. No, they still make them. They still make them. I just don't think they're as good. But the rattle in them sounds a little different. It sounds a little more chingy, tingy, ding 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 ding, and like the older ones were like a donk donk donk. So I don't know what they changed. I'm guessing plastic, but I don't know. Rebel still makes the counter rotating hooks, but they're cheap and suck. It doesn't surprise me. It's got a little chartreuse head, bluish silver sides. Darius, there's no damn telling. Marty, there is no, like, the body profile is exactly the same. And I don't know if they make the junior anymore. I think they may only make the regular standard size one. I don't know that I've seen a spitting image junior, which I was never a huge fan of. I just like the regular spitting image. But that regular spitting image is badass, dude. Badass. Yeah, they could have changed the material of the ball. Certainly possible. I don't know. I've never cracked one open to see. Darius agrees that the plastic was better in the old ones. I think so. Another badass bait was the Poppin' Image Junior. I never cared for the big Poppin' Image, but the little one was the shit. I guess they don't make that one anymore either. But I don't really like poppers that much, but that was a good one. Honestly, never even threw the big one, I don't think, because I thought it looked so stupid. I always thought they looked real dumb. Hell, it never moved past the yellow magic. Even back when you were a kid, dude. Even when Bill Dance was twitching these things around prick ponds, you didn't say, "Man, I gotta have a spitting image." I wouldn't have even known what a yellow magic was in, like, when I was 12 or 13, whenever Bill Dance was selling me all this shit. I assassinated some pond bass as a kid with a spitting image. was like my go-to. And a baby bass popar. But the spitting image got the nod because it looked sexier. I went from popar to yellow magic, and that was where it ended. I went from popar to nothing. I kind of gave up on the popping world. I would buy a few here and there, and then I got a few P70s later on in life, and those are legit. But I still don't like a popper that much. I think the Bill Dance came first before the Sosin. I've got both. So if you were a saltwater guy, you would get the Mark Sosin version with the red eyes and the saltwater hooks. If you weren't a salt lifer, you get the Bill Dance face on your bait, regular hooks, black nickel hooks. These came from ENB Marine for $6. If you subscribe, you can get this special offer. Let's see what it says. Grab this special offer and catch more fish. Here's a chance to get Saltwater Sportsman, the #1 sport fishing magazine, for $19.95. It's a 53% savings off newsstands price, and you get a special bonus lure offer. Sign up for 2 years at $32.95, and you get a 62% savings off of the newsstand. With each monthly issue of Saltwater Sportsman, you get expert how-to information from the pros, blah, 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 blah. And you either get a Bomber sinking mullet, BM8, or you get a Bomber floating mullet. Subscribe, and you will get 2 Bomber lures and a Bomber patch. As a special bonus, you will receive a Bomber BM8 Bomber sinking mullet, effective for fishing tidewater flats and shoals, and the BM8F floating mullet, perfect for fishing over weed beds, mangroves, or landing seamlessly out of reach shallow running fish. These lures will be sent in a regionally effective colors and boast reflective foil inserts that prompt explosive strikes. Let's see what happens in the Bill Dance version. Nothing. No promos on the Bill Dance version. Are we going to see the saltwater version again? They all had red eyes in them. I thought, from what I recall. New hyper reflective finish. The finish on these was badass. They did a good job. Put these back on the wall of fame. Kyle, I was never a fan of the swimming image. We had some for saltwater, but I never threw them. But I reached a time where I went from a boy to a man, and I had to put away those childish things. And I found a little thing called a Super Spook with Jimmy Houston's name on it. I forgot all about my little spitting images. I forgot all about my little pop-Rs. I forgot all about everything topwater to that point. No Sammys, no nothing. This was it. That changed the game. Me praying for a 4-pounder to eat my spitting image. No more praying. 4-pounders flocked to my super spook. Hella? Probably could. Maybe I'll utilize one of those one day. I have to should probably paint one. I actually do have one painted. I could maybe share the wealth. That would be nice of me. Maybe that would be a good giveaway item. One of one spook in the country. No need to hoard all this stuff, right? Ooh, what about these? Yeah, I guess this thing came around eventually. You like the ones with the inserts? Ghost bone? That would be pretty nice. Spook will be around forever. How do you think this one would look like with the insert? Ghost bone. I think that needs to happen. I think I'll bring that to life. Maybe not today, but eventually. Kyle, I saw a post on Facebook, and a guy had some knockoff version of that bait, and it wasn't like the bait I sell is like a clone of it. Like it's that bait cloned. This was like a knockoff to where it was the same bill and the head looked similar, like the gill details, but they were like changed a little bit. They were a little deeper cut. And he posted on some fishing group, does anybody know what this is? And I said, yeah, that's a shitty version of an Amakatsu IK 180. And he sent me a message, and he was like, where do you get those? Like, Japan. It's like, but there's a clone made of that bait here in the States that you can get. It's like, they're not the greatest bait, but they're good enough. Like, you might have to put a little super glue. Like I put super glue around the eyelets before I paint them, so they're sealed as good as I can get them. But they hold up if they don't, if I can keep them from leaking. And said, but they catch the shit out of them. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I've got one. He's like, I smash them on that thing. It's like, he said, do you paint them? I said, yeah. And he's like, I need like 18 of them. Like, okay. And I asked him to send me colors of what he wanted, and I haven't heard back from him. But since that last batch, another gentleman over here on the Instagram liked it a lot, and People are starting to see the light finally. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. But there's a few guys drinking, and they say it's good. Yeah, I wish that was like Kyle. I wish that was like a premium, like top shelf version of that bait that you could buy the blank of, but there's not. Like the ones you get are there. You know, occasionally want to leak. So, like I said, I try and glue them up the best I can and get everything sealed up where they're not going to leak. But I would like to have a like 100% legit like perfect version of that bait. They're that good. I mean, they're not that good that I would like have a mold cut and have them made, but uh, Nate, I've got one. It's just regular old bone though. Gotta watch this thing. These hooks will go right into my flesh. Nate said you were the reason I tossed that sucker. She gets chewed. So I wasn't just blowing smoke up your ass. Now Nate understands. But those eyes do look sexy. Um, Kyle, it's hard. I try and do that, but uh, yeah, it's spelled. If you want to look them up, the originals, it's IMKA. I'm Katsu, Katsu. Yeah. Um, yeah, for whatever reason, Nate, I tend to like putting that little bit of chartreuse on stuff because it helps me. I don't know. It's just easier for me because sometimes I'll lose a bait. Like I'll be out there twitching it and I can't find it. Like if it's choppy, and sometimes that little bit of chartreuse will help me see it. Um, so, and I don't think it's enough. It's going to like do anything to a fish or like deter a fish. So. Tim, we're just shooting the breeze right now. I'm about to. I think I want to go test these baits again one more time. Uh, the remaining ones I had to that were sinking on me. I gotta go test them again just to make sure. I don't want any sin backs. So and then when I get back, I'm gonna start packaging up everybody's baits and shipping them out. So that's that. There's a saying: I can show you how to fish, but I can't feed it to you. Send me one of those. I will copy that bait without all the head carving. Which one? The Vixen? I think Eder and Cliff have already covered that market. It's like they were reading the same handbook at the same time. I like a fried bass, not gonna lie. Uh, Crank down. All right. Ripping lips. How deep a crank down we talking? I'd probably be into the like 5 foot range would be happy for me, but I don't know what the majority of people crank down. Kyle, I'll send you a picture of it. 5 to 8. That's about right. All right, I'll see what I can come up with. I'll see what I can come up with. AJ, yeah, I'm about to go finish testing these baits. I really need a damn tank here. This driving to the damn my buddy's house is really getting old. Can't get anything done, especially when like prototyping stuff. You have to take one bait, drive up the road, throw it, and then it sucks, and then you have to drive back here and like try and fix it. Huge time suck. You pretty much have to have something you can like swim a bait in to build something and like ever get anything done. Um, where is that bait? I got some little flat sides of Marty's. This is what started me on the wood grain thing, I think. I think this might have been my first wood grain burns. It's a beautiful little specimen. It's small. Keep forgetting to show. Some of these? No. Or as mustads below. Um, oh no, no cranks. I don't have anything right now in the crankbait world. I think everything's gone um, until the next go round, and then I'll do it all over again. Get baits, paint them, sell them, go to the next one. Make a crank down, see how they swim. The bill is going to be the tricky part about that thing. Finding a bill. I might need to have bills cut. But I like circuit board. I'll probably want to do circuit board on it. So if that's the case, I know I'm going to have them cut. But we'll see. Yeah, that was a pretty badass bluegill. It's stressful doing that stencil on that bait though, because it's got to be perfect or it looks like ass. And that stencil's hard to get to lay down perfect. So AJ's thinking about going to the Kansas City Fishing Show. What kind of crowds are there, AJ? Yeah, I don't like Lexan. Never have. Too clunky. Marty, you got monster bills. Um, I like it. To me, the reason I like anytime Marty builds baits, anytime I've built baits, anytime anything has needed a lip in it, I've always put circuit board in it because it's just as strong. It doesn't work as well in rocks, but I don't fish around rocks, so I don't have to worry about it. But you get a crisper action, you get a cleaner action. It dives faster, it cuts water better. Um, it's just a sharper feel, and that's everything I want in a bait that's diving. I need to be able to feel it, and Lexan to me is a little more dead and just kind of like it just doesn't feel as good. Um, to me, it's just a crisper action. Um, so like that. There's a BDS4. Took the bill out of the BDS4 and put a circuit board bill in it. This thing runs great. The one that, speaking of crankdowns, I think of all the crankdowns, the BGC has caught more and bigger fish than anyone out there. That damn BGC crankdown smashes their ass. Yeah, circuit's good for. I like it on trees because I've always cranked trees. Um, just anything that's not rock. Like if you fish riprap, it'll wear down quicker. But I mean, it's not gonna like destroy it that fast. I mean, you have to do some serious cranking to wear it down. But you know, it will definitely wear down uh, a lot faster than a Lexan will. Um, yeah, his I wouldn't. I would probably not. Daniel's bill looked a little long for me for to be the material and the size that it was. So I would probably try and stay away from that length because it will break when it bends. Um, when you've got a little section and you got a big a, that much hanging out of the bait. Um, but you could change that. There's things you could do to get around it. The first thing is don't put the damn line tie in the nose. Um, put it in the bill. Not going to break that way. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. There's options. There's options. Marty, I don't know. I think there's something that somebody can be proud of if they can take a circuit board lipped square bill and grind it so much on some rocks for a month that they turn it into a round bill. I feel like you could show that to your friends, and it's like something to be proud of. Be like, check this out, dude. I wore the bill off this damn thing. So ripping lips, yeah. If there was anything I should probably force my brain to do is probably a crank down. I could probably do that pretty well. Um, I know the most about it, so whether or not I could generate that into an actual body. Marty, they're breaking because they're too long. Like they're like this far sticking off the bait, and they like taper down with the line tie in the nose. So there's no rigidity in the. It's like a, it's like having a damn like wafer board paddle sticking off the end of it. It's like this bait if your line tie was in the nose. Like you hit something pulling this hard with the weight of that bait, like it's gonna break. Or you throw it into something, but because you've got a line tie in the body, it's not gonna break. Marty, it defies all logic and reasoning how these dudes make these baits swim. I have no friggin' clue. It's so stupid when like the first time I saw Mike's dredger, I was like, there's no way that thing's gonna swim. Because the line tie is in the nose and it's got like a 6-inch bill sticking off of it. But they swim, and I don't know how. I think it's relative to the body. Like if you take this body and you measure it and say it's like 3 inches, about the longest you could get the bill to stick out with the line tie in the nose would be what? An inch and some change. But if you take a bait that's 8 inches long and you take 4 inches and make the bill 4 inches long, that's like half the body, half the width of the body, which is about what you could maybe get away with on a this size bait. Um, you're looking at like a 3-inch bill or a 4-inch bill or something. They're huge. Um, it's I don't know. Like the funny thing is when I saw them, I was like, I would have never built that bait like that because I would have never thought that it swam. You know what I mean? Just like through dicking with crankbaits and stuff, I would have never put the line tie in the nose out of the gate. Um, so um, kudos to those guys. Well, I think Victor did it. He did the hater with the line tie in the nose, and then everybody like just did the line tie in the nose. It's amazing. Yeah, like it's like that size bait, Marty. Like it's big, but the lips come out to like here. So how long would that be? Let's do inches. So this bait is how long? This bait is over 6 inches. This thing only goes 6 inches. So this is probably a 7-inch bait. The lip is probably 3 1/4 sticking out and weighs what? 3.2 ounces. That's the only thing I could figure out is it's all relative to the size of the body, how far that you can extend the lip with the line tie still being in the nose. But like I said, I still wouldn't have tried it. From the nose of the bait to the tip of the bill is 1 1/4 sticking out on a clickbait and a little over 2 inches long in total. That sounds about right. And how deep does that bait dive? The bill angle on that one also kind of threw me for a loop because it's almost like completely flat. I don't know. I don't know where these guys get this shit. Like if I would have done that, like none of that shit would have ever swam. But shows what I know. I guess that's why I need to build one and see. That's why I need to build one and see. That's what I'm saying, Marty. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. Like they're 10 feet. Wow. I've got to now because it's starting to piss me off how absurd all this shit is that people are doing. Like I want to try and use like practical crankbait knowledge to see what one does. Marty, I think some like the BGCs have, which the BGCs aren't they don't have like incredibly crazy lips like some of these others. But the BGC is a 3 joint or a 2 joint, so it's 3 pieces. The bull shad I think is, I don't know if it's 1 or 2. 10-ounce bluegill wake is very absurd. I painted one of those big Basaras bluegill. That thing was like a damn pie plate, dude. It was huge. That was the that was my biggest grossing Instagram post, was that Basara I painted in a bluegill, and it wasn't even that great a paint job. I didn't even like it. But Pizzed Beast Wake is 10 ounces in a 5-piece. Is that new? That sounds pretty gigantic. A 3-piece and a 2-piece. I actually already have the body I can make it out of. I just need to, the bull shad is a 5-piece. Oh, wow. That's a lot. I don't like these joints, but I could turn this one into a swimmer. Let's see. We shall see. This might be too much. I'd have to chill this thing out a little bit. Too much rotation. I don't know. I'll start digging with it. I'll start cutting and drilling holes. Like that. This one was actually awake. This one probably This bait was insane. This is the one I couldn't sell because it was too absurd. It had one speed and one rod angle, one rod tip angle that you could hold it at that it would swim, and it would throw the hardest thumping wake you've ever felt in your life. But I couldn't sell it because you had to have like an instruction manual as to uh, how to fish it to make it swim. Noisier the better. Put rattles in them. Thought about putting rattles in my glide, but I opted out of it. Well, got me something to dick around with. That'll be fun. All right, dudes, I've been on here almost 2 hours. I need to go test and ship. Y'all be good. We'll check in next time. Hopefully, maybe I'll have one of these, something prototyped. We'll see. Tim, you want one of these? Tim said make the walking bait. Number 2. Good chat, dudes. What gives the different sounds on resin's bait? Like some of my leads almost sound like wood, and my other resin bait still sound like that. It could be the clear coat. Probably is. That's what we were talking about. Nobody, like, you got the punkers, but like, there's not anybody that like really puts these big walking baits out in any regular. You know what I mean? Like, we were trying to name who makes a big walking bait that's like readily available. Probably worth doing a few of. Rich says, "Shut up and do the crank down." All right, dudes. Y'all be good. I'm going to the pond. Adios. Top water is greater than crank down. Probably have more fun with it at least. All right, dudes. I'll see y'all later.